Hello people, I'm the Real Comic Book Gamer, and today I'm going to be talking about Marvel Generations Wolverine, because the Generations event from Marvel, if you don't know what it is, it's basically where Marvel takes the new SJW version of their characters and they bring them back to the past to some point in sort of the prime of the original character, and they have them meet and they basically just show you how the new SJW version is just as good, if not better than the old version. Here you go, and that's basically what they've been doing. This is the first Generations book that I've actually read personally, though, because Wolverine is my favorite Marvel character, so I had to pick it up. I'm going to be picking up some other Generations books, like the Hawkeye and the Captain America ones, because those are ones I'm interested in, but hopefully they're better than this one, because this one is just complete garbage. Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting. Something better than this. The art isn't bad though. The art's good for the most part. I like the art, but it's written by Tom Taylor, who's the guy that's writing All New Wolverine right now, I believe, and he wrote the Injustice comics for DC. So yeah, and I thought this book would be at least a bit better than it is, but it is terrible. It is just such nonsense and so bad. But yeah, let's talk about it. The book opens up with Wolverine fighting undead hand ninjas. He's talking about how he's gonna die, how he's done this before, but they're gonna kill him now. This is it. It's over. He's about to die. He talks about how he was the best at what he does, but then, or at least he thought he was, and then X-23 shows up, and Laura just starts kicking everyone's ass, and he just starts talking about how amazing she is at everything. He's like, they can't touch her. He's like, but she's faster, sharper, she's composed, doesn't waste a cut, she's surgical. It's actually kind of scary. Wolverine talked about how they can't even touch her, how fast she is, and they can't even touch her. These ninjas that are just destroying Wolverine can't even land a hit on Laura, and he's talking about how he's actually how she's actually kind of scary though, how good she is, and it's so stupid. It's so Mary Sue-esque too. It's like the definition of Mary Sue, which is you have this fan fiction character that comes in and just one-ups the original character in every way, and that's what she's doing here. She just comes in and she's just like, yeah, I'm better than Wolverine at everything, and that's what they're showing, and it's just so stupid. And then Wolverine sounds like a fangirl the way he's describing X-23. And then the dialogue is some of the worst I've ever seen for Wolverine by Tom Taylor here. It is just awful in this book. After the fight's over, Wolverine goes, you have a sword in you. Like, how does that doesn't sound like Wolverine at all. What? And she's like, I noticed, because she's the big badass, and then she goes, would you mind? Wolverine's like the little fangirl, and she's the big badass, and he takes the sword out, and then she takes it, she throws that to Hand Ninja, so she can cut a piece of cloth off him, so she can get their scent and trap them. Because again, she's a big badass and knows exactly what to do. Now, the reason Wolverine's fighting hand ninjas is because they captured his adopted daughter, so now he's trying to fight the hand ninjas to get him. And then Wolverine's like, okay, enough. I want to know what's going on. She's like, I can't tell you what's going on. My name's Laura. And Wolverine's like, okay, my name's Logan. And that's basically how it goes. Wolverine, who you think would be a bit more confused about what's going on, he's like, nah, he's fine. He asks one question, she doesn't give him an answer, and he's like, okay, that's fine. So then they run up on a hand ninja, and they're surrounded by explosives, and he's got a grenade that he is about to let pop. And Wolverine's like, he wouldn't, pull the pin. We're surrounded by explosives. And then she tells Logan, and zombie ninjas are well known for their self-preservation and sensible decisions, because Wolverine's an idiot, and he thought the zombie ninja would care. It's just so then Wolverine yells, get down, and jumps on top of her to save her from the explosion, and she goes, you didn't need to protect me, and Wolverine says it was instinct, and then Laura says, no, it wasn't. What is she trying to imply here? Is she trying to, is this some form of patriarchy trying to protect her? Was that some form of patriarchy right there? I'm just like, what is I'm so confused, because she doesn't expand on what she's trying to say there. She just goes, no, it wasn't. Like, it's it's built into men to want to protect women because they're sexist and everything, and that's what she's like trying to say somehow, it seems, telling him it wasn't instinct. It was just, he is like a sexist. I don't know. Are they trying to say some form of patriarchy? What, just pretend the like button's the patriarchy and smash it. Make sure to smash that patriarchy like button. Make sure it's okay. Moving on. They go and they find a guy that leads them to his daughter. So they go to the airport and they're wearing they're wearing suits, like not their actual costumes, but just normal suits. And Wolverine looks at her and goes, there was a dress in the car. And she just makes some snarky remark saying, yeah, you would look great in it. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't fit Wolverine's character at all. He wouldn't be like, you could have worn a dress. When has Wolverine ever done that? anything remotely like that? When has he looked at like Jean or Storm and been like, you should be wearing a dress right now? He's never done that. This is just, again, Tom Taylor trying to be like, the patriarchy. Just sexist man saying women can't wear suits, they should only wear dresses. Like, no, he knows they're gonna go fight, so it makes sense for her to not be in a dress because she's gonna be able to fight better in what she's wearing right there. Like, what? Wolverine wouldn't say that? That's like the last thing Wolverine would say. Wolverine wouldn't care. Like, this guy, that's one of the things about Wolverine, is he really does not give a crap about pretty much anything. So why would he care about this? Like, Tom Taylor acts like Wolverine cares that she's not wearing a dress, that she's wearing a suit. It's like, oh, you know there was a dress in the... Like, that's not Wolverine at all. This is just him trying to be like, men are sex. It's so stupid. So anyways, they break through the airport, and they're going, and they're chasing down this plane. So then they make it onto the plane where his adopted daughter's being held. You have a bunch of ninjas that are standing in a circle for no reason. Like, I'm confused why. It's just so odd, because it makes no sense. For some reason, these ninjas are standing in a circle on this plane. They're not spread out. They're not sitting down. And they're not protecting anything. There's no, like, the child isn't in the middle of them or something. It's not like, okay, we need to stand around Wolverine's daughter and make sure he doesn't get her. No, they're just standing around acting like they're protecting something, but there's nothing in the middle of them, and it just looks weird. It looks really odd. But then we see the person behind the kidnapping, and it's Sabretooth who kidnapped his daughter, and he tells him what his plan was and everything. He's about to jump out of the plane, but then Laura goes, wait, kill me instead. And then she somehow closes the distance, which is like, what, 5-6 feet, something like that, while he's holding her, Wolverine's daughter, and she's able to cut his hand off, and Wolverine's daughter's able to get out fine. That makes no sense, and she's able to do all this before Sabretooth can react. And Sabretooth is one of the biggest badasses in the Marvel Universe. But he's like a chump here. How does... Like, this makes no sense how this happens. Like, just look at how she goes from just being like 5-6 feet away to just suddenly being right there, and the daughter's out of his hand, and she cut his hand off. And then they fall down out of the plane, and she's kicking his ass the whole way down. And then Sabretooth starts threatening her because his healing factor is better right here. We see that he's recovering faster. He's like, you're still breathing? Let's see if you can do that without a head. And then she just laughs, and he's like, you think life without a head is funny? Again, that is just so out of place for something like Sabretooth to say. Like, his dialogue for Wolverine was terrible. His dialogue for Sabretooth is awful. Well, Sabretooth wouldn't say, do you think life without a head is funny? That just sounds so out of place and not for Sabretooth. He would just move over and cut her head off. And then we see that Wolverine, what she's laughing at is she saw Wolverine in the sky, and he jumps out of the sky and he stabs Sabretooth, which is one of the coolest parts of the book. It's sort of like the Cannonball special that him and Colossus used to do, except out of a plane. And he stabs him once, and he's got Sabretooth on the ground. And then, of course, Wolverine having a really badass moment. They have to one-up it. Laura has to one-up it because, of course, she's the bigger badass. Wolverine's just... No one likes Wolverine. They all like Laura. Laura's the biggest badass. We have to show why she's way better than Wolverine. So then we see her walking up to Sabretooth. She even yells his name. She doesn't call him Sabretooth. She yells Creed. And then Wolverine is narrating, going, I can hear her bones popping, ligaments snapping. She's completely broken. She's still coming. She's like me, very much like me. And then we see her kick him in the throat with her foot claw, which I always thought was one of the stupidest things ever. It looks so retarded. The foot claw just looks retarded. It sounds like a Get Smart gadget, like a blade in the foot. It just sounds so stupid, but it looks retarded to me. But she kicks him in the throat because, of course, you know, she's broken, but she's able to come over and kick his ass because she's got to be a badass. And then we get to where they return Wolverine's adopted daughter home, and Wolverine's about to leave because he brings too much danger to his daughter. And then we actually get a good moment between Laura and Logan, where Logan says, hey, I don't know exactly what's up, but I know you smell like me, and like you look like me, so I'm guessing we're related. I'm sorry for whatever I did to you in the future. And we get a good moment where she's like genuinely sad. She's like, I miss you. Goodbye, Dad, when she leaves. And it's like, okay, that was an actual good moment. Too bad it was just tons of complete crap and garbage leading up to this. Why couldn't we have had something like this when they first met? Because when they first meet, she's just being a big badass and Wolverine's fangirling out over how much better she is than him. but this part we actually get a good moment, and this was the only good part of the book. The rest of the book is god-awful. I would not recommend reading this book. It's $5 for this piece of garbage to only get some decent stuff at the end, but leading up to it, it's just terrible. If you're going to buy a comic that came out yesterday, I would suggest either Superman 29, Batman number 29, or Astonishing X-Men issue number 2. Those were like my favorite 3 issues that I read yesterday. They're really good, so definitely pick those up if you're looking for a good comic to pick up. Don't pick this up. It's absolutely terrible. Don't waste your time or your money. But anyways, if you read Generations, please let me know in the comments below what you think of Wolverine Generations, and also what do you just think of Marvel just ruining these characters like that. It's just at least we still have Old Man Logan, and he's still a badass. That's what I'm thankful for, because this sucks, but at the end of the day it's not changing too much, because it's, hey, I still got my badass Old Man Logan. They can do whatever they want with Laura and stuff, but I still have my badass Old Man Logan. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I grew up with the prenup. Mama said keep my C up. Now noticing I'm getting caught cracker and getting beat up, but I stayed up long nights working hard on my craft. Gave a fuck about the bullies or anyone in my path.